Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got something a little bit different this episode. Fun little project. I will give you just a glimpse of what we're going to do here. See if you can figure out what we're up to. I'm not going to quite tell you the end game here. So this is a little memento I snagged to help remember the fun memories of Grandpa. We recently lost Grandpa this spring. He was 90 years old. I've probably mentioned in the past videos, he worked for 7-Up his whole career. So we as a family kind of collect 7-Up stuff. You've probably noticed around the shop I have, 7-Up bottles and 7-Up signs, and I got all kinds of stuff around. Anyway, going through Grandpa and Grandma's house, kind of cleaning things out, figuring out what to do with everything, I grabbed this, and you may be wondering, like, what do you want that for? And that was kind of the reaction of, like, even Dad, because it's like, this is far from a choice sign. It is in very poor shape, because to Grandpa, this was just a piece of sheet metal. He didn't realize until way later in life that these old 7-Up memorabilia stuff, it was pretty special, what he had. And, he cut up this, he needed a piece of sheet metal to patch something. And then once that, he turned it into, this was Grandpa's painting tool. Basically, you get up against the edge of a foundation if you need to push the grass down to paint, or windows, or whatever. He was cutting something with paint. This was just his sheet metal up against something painting tool, and sat on the end of his workbench for as long as I can remember, and that's what he used it for. And as you can see, Grandpa was a very messy painter. And so I got a little project lined up for this. I think we can turn this into something that can be a useful tool around the shop here, and we can remember Grandpa every time we use it. So I think I got kind of a game plan. I rounded up. This was Dad's suggestion here for another part of this project. Another clue. See if you can figure out what we're building before I tell you. This was in Dad's scrap pile. Happens to be green, which matches perfectly. Kind of the right shape. First thing I'm going to do is give this just a little bit of a light cleaning. I'm not going to attempt to try to remove the paint, because that's kind of the purpose of the comic side of this project. But I'm going to clean it just a little bit. I think we can polish it up just a little bit, get some of that red to pop again, and whatever. There, a little before and after. Did half of it here. You can see just a little bit of wash, and gets some of that shine back to it, gets that haze of paint off of there. Again, we're not trying to make this a beautiful, get rid of all the paint. That would kind of defeat the purpose of this silly project and wreck some of the memories. We're just trying to give it a little bit of shine. Have you figured out what we're making yet? Another clue. So universe is kind of funny, right? So I keep these old calendar pages around just for like this, making up templates or patterns or whatever. Just scrap paper, basically, right? Well, it's like the universe wanted me to make this project. This was the exact size of this tin. Didn't even have to cut it to width. It was pretty much exactly the right width this way. I folded it a little bit to make it a little bit narrower. And the even more funny part to me is I just randomly pulled out a piece out of the calendar without looking at it, and it was November. Grandpa's birthday month is November, and that'd be last year. That'd be the year you turned 90 last year. So got some fold lines figured out here. Let's make a couple of cuts and see if we can make some folds and hems and continue. One side bent up, turning out very nicely. I'm happy with it. Turns out underneath all this layer of paint, this edge is actually hemmed over. but there were so many layers of paint there, you couldn't even tell. It's starting to take shape. Got the back started here. Hemmed it over the bottom. And the handle bent up. Let's see if we can rivet this thing together. Pretty nice. Got her all done here. If you haven't figured it out yet, we're making a dustpan. Pretty cool. One of those free projects. Didn't have to buy anything to make it. Reclaimed memory. Old, it's actually the leg of a old Christmas tree stand. It's already green, so it's fitting for the 7-Up. Pretty cool. And it's functional. I like things that are functional. It's not just something that can hang on the wall, but it's something we can hang on the wall and we can use. And then that's the comical side of it is, you know, most dustpans get dirtier the more we use them, right? This one potentially is going to get cleaner the more we use it, the more this paint flakes off. Pretty efficient too. That's all the scraps we had left over. Hope you all enjoyed this fun, quick little project. I know I had a good time making it. See you next time. Thanks for watching.